I mean, and it's what feels like such a longer match too, because of how long Penguin has to like sit there and wait for his opportunities to get back. So, like Dan said, it was only 3-0, but it definitely felt like a 4 or 5 game set because of how long those momentum shifts occurred. Because normally you see those like direct swings where it's like, oh, here's this huge opening, and now suddenly it's now on the other side of the momentum. But I mean, that one, the entire time, Cheesy just had control, and then at the last moment, whether it was the up airs in game one and game 2, or getting the pillar situation off of like a fair at 60 on the other side of Treetop, like that sent Cheesy rocketing away, probably trying to hold down and fastball and that put her off stage. And then having to pillar there, it's just a tough situation to deal with. So Penguin always securing that. We're going to go into our other side of winter semis. It is, of course, going to be Kusi and Halite. I'm really, really excited for this. You don't see Ellie's in top 8s, much less in winter side. Let's see how this goes, man. First time on Tower of Heaven 2 today. Really, really excited for this.
Today has been a real treat for me because this is the first time I've actually gotten to watch Halite play. And I was told before the event that Sparks considers Halite a contender for best Eliana, which is the person I considered the best Eliana. Saying that about somebody else means I need to pay attention. And his gameplay so far is punish game, the way he does certain... Oh no, never mind, he's dead. All right, so Kusi's not going to let me talk about any of that.
Yeah, it is big body versus Ori, unfortunately.
Yeah. Ori being a super fast character, able to just tear right through Steam sometimes. It makes her even more impressed that Sega was able to win this matchup last month.
Ooh, and especially with stuff just like that, where you get that full charge there on the rocket. So, Dan, can Ori sign bash on the clouds?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Because like the way the clouds work is like they activate a hitbox once you're close enough. So I don't think so. At least, I mean, I'll be honest. Like a lot of Eliana and at that point, Trevor was doing a lot of the character programming. So a lot of the mechanics would come up like later. We'd be like, oh, how should these two interact? And we're like, oh, right.
And speaking of how long the Halite was able to just hover down below ledge before finally sneaking in that back air. Ooh, this could be a big sequence too. Oh, it doesn't confirm immediately off the up tilt. Still gets a couple hits though.
All the damage on Ori, especially when you factor in what Eliana's kill potential is, like every one of those hits is actually a huge amount of value for her.
But the sign there, knocking Eliana out of the charge, a really tough situation, not allowing him to recover. In a rare time, you're going to see an Ellie die off the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit of a flub there with the down air too, but you can still get edge guarded. It just looks a little different, right?
Exactly.
Well, good movement by Kusi, just avoiding the up air retaliation entirely. He's also really on point on getting rid of these mines whenever they're on the stage. Avoids the potential of that conversion, and sometimes getting a conversion himself.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's certain percents where up tilt's just like is just a kill move in its own right, and I'm just like, man, that's cool.
I also sometimes just forget how light Ori is too, because it was for a while, like until 2020, we hadn't really seen Ori in too many tournaments.
It was mostly Jezier repping him in the 2019 year. Ooh, the Stein explosion sending the mine off stage!
And look how long he's had this charge here.
Oh my!
Yes! Nice! And you saw him charged up already with the Mega Buster going in. It's like, all right, if you survive this, I'm still gonna get you. I got one more for you. One more loaded in the chamber.
That was something I noticed with Halite against Protagify. Was we associate Protagify as being able to slow down his stage, partly slow down the pace of a match, partly through his movement, right, with Absa. But Halite was actually sniping him a lot with Rocket's Fist, like all the time. So being able to bring that same accuracy here against Ori is actually a huge deal. Definitely closed out that previous game, and I don't think it's going to be the last time we'll see the Rocket Fist close out a stock in this set.
Yeah, if you're not grounded when they go for that, it is a hard projectile to deal with. And it's one of those things, especially with lighter characters. You mentioned Protagify and Absa, now of course Kusi with Ori as well. It makes a huge difference in it. we're about to get into Frozen Fortress here. I'm actually really curious if Halite wins this, what side of losers Kusi goes to, because we were talking about Cake's run and how much of a struggle Kusi has been for him. If Kusi ends up on the other side versus Sego, he may not have to fight him. And that's it, in the ears now. Kusi, if he loses this, has to fight Sego. Cake Assault with a very interesting avenue back to Grands potentially now.
Here we go, using the Mine Explosion. Ooh, not going to catch an immediate retreat back onto the stage.
Oh, huge forward smash.
Yeah, I think that caught the Tekken place. Uh-oh. This could be something very nasty. Oh, the DI away, and Halite's not able to follow that up.
Oh, but he does manage to down smash, bounce his way back to the stage. Really big thing here is conserving this kill power that Ellie has at this range.
I mean, I think up tilt now is just entirely a kill option with Ori's %.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the options that are opened up by having that on deck.
Very nice up smash.
Yeah, up strong is a really good option against the characters who like to float because it's just so big and takes up a good amount of space.
And I think, yeah, here on Frozen Fortress, being able to catch like that perching attempt too is pretty valuable. Gonna go ahead and get that confirmed, but still 58% on Eliana and cut in the corner.
Yeah, this can kind of be a tough situation, but we saw this in game one actually start out pretty well for Kusi, where he kind of had these consistent edge guards in the corner. And then we still managed to see the comeback. So, like, even with this huge difference here, I don't think this is anything out of reach, especially on a stage like Frozen.
Mm-hmm. Catching the roll in. Oh, man. Kusi is just finding the narrowest escapes for Halite's follow-up.
That didn't Galaxy? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Ellie was like at 150.
Yeah.
It was about like 130, yeah. There we go.
Just didn't want to die, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Too much was on the line.
We got that extra bit of code where it's just like, if you want it enough, you know, it's just like, you can just live.
Right, exactly. Like, you have to, like, Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Z, charge up and scream at the screen.
Exactly.
Ooh, and now early kill there after that extension into the corner.
Oh my god.
All the options with that.
Yeah.
That was so smart.
That was pretty funny.
I understand that there are some really unique things about Ellie's game plan, but me as a small-brained Clarin main has no clue how this character works. So every time I see an Ellie flex, I'm just like, yes, they are like 7D backgammon. Like I'm outclassed. I'm just confused.
Halite is really cementing himself as like the mad scientist of Ileana, who is in fact a mad scientist, which is just perfect.
Well, I mean, I remember like earlier last year, or maybe in the year before that, like the Halite crash becoming this huge Twitter clip where everyone's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And Sparks is just sitting there going like, "Yeah, Halite's crazy. Like he's this lab monster that no one gets to see." And now, thanks to the power of Ethernet cables, we get to see.
But Kusi's going to take that game too, just solid edge control like we saw in pretty much in a lot of the previous stocks too. Like the question tends to be, if Halite can sneak past, then things are like in sudden death mode for Kusi because he's playing such a light character.
Right.
But he does have sign, he does have incredible movement and positioning. He's able to pressure so many corners of the screen that even with Eliana flying, it's so hard for her to get by, especially because she's just so big, right?
And we see the move to Swampy here. I really like this counter pick a lot. The way that Ellie can actually control this airspace between the two plats there on the left and the right is going to be really, really good stuff here. We'll see how long he can actually take some of these hits, though. Uh-oh, doesn't land on the plat, so doesn't get the reset.
That was a really good use of the air special. Yeah. Like I do have to give so much credit to like Kusi escaping these strings because I don't see people usually getting out of the way of this stuff, especially against like Eliana online. Like This is so impressive.
Nice up air. Ooh, great jab turnaround there. Look at this combo still going here. Ooh, doesn't quite get to finish it up and gets another one. And that's the crazy part. I don't know if he died off the top before or after.
I think it was before. I don't think the S special hit because we definitely would have seen purple. I feel like if it had hit that high, that close to the blast zone.
It sends a message though, right? Like that was the double tap.
Yeah, that was the like. Yeah, if you perfect DI'd this, then I'm starting to kill you.
I got one more ready for you.
Oh, good catch.
Oh man, I'm surprised that didn't KO. I feel like I've seen that KO like earlier even.
Oh, a little bit of the cheeky down air stuff. Can work on the lighter characters as like a loop.
Great situational awareness here. Oh, okay. Gonna try to bounce back. Actually gets back to the stage and now has almost full overheat. Not gonna survive that up air though.
Yeah, great coverage by Kusi there, like knowing that all Halite could really do was roll as soon as getting on ground.
I love that. He was like, "Fine, keep hovering. I'm just gonna hit you."
I was like, this is actually okay. I'm okay with this.
Oh, nice of off screen.
Every time I see a Halite do that, it just feels just as painful in my gut. Oh, the badge!
Oh, the badge right back! This is ridiculous, this match.
I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen more of those, just given the size of the character model for Ellie.
Yeah, it's such a hard commitment that I kind of understand, like, when you're this late in tournament, that you would see less, but right there, just able to get the confirm.
I think a lot of it, too, is, like, Ori's, I tend to see, like to build up the conditioning for the opponent to want to DI in because they don't want to be carried off the side, and that's when they feel safe going for the bash.
Right. Oh, good. Wait for the parry there. Overheat almost on deck. Gonna reset neutral with the cloud a little bit. Nice call.
I love this non-committal chase that Kusi is giving Halite in this disadvantage, right? He's just staying near on platforms, but he isn't committing until he knows he's got that frame advantage.
Ooh! And when you saw the pop, when you saw the mech pop there, Kusi was trying to get down to the stage so quickly, just of how much lighter Ellie is without the mech. But the up strong going to catch the hover. He said, "No, too many times here, too many times. I got you. I got one for you."
Yeah, Kusi really adapted that last stock there, playing like a lot more bait and punish style.
And that tends to be where we see Kusi at his best, is when he's able to implement that, right? Because as fast as he is, with Ori, his strength is so much more in the baiting and punishing and putting himself where he needs Sign to be, like 1 second from now, so that whatever he's baiting you with is just that much harder to deal with.
Well, and even situations where he just stood in place and just waited for a chance to flip the mine away. I mean, the sequence there at the end and the extended percentage that actually got Halite to that damage threshold was because he got clipped by the very end of the explosion of the mine being bashed at him. So, I mean, just knowing that, like, I don't have to commit here. Even if I'm down, like, I can just sit here and suddenly I have a live projectile flying at you that is going to be the size of you. So, you know, something that Halite has to be aware of the entire time here. I like the choice of Pridemore Keep here. I'm going to expand a little bit further size-wise, get a little bit more range on these side plats as well. We'll see how much of a difference this makes. I don't think Swampy Estuary was a bad choice, but I think the way Kusi changes gameplay midway through really made a difference there.
And also, I just love the music on the stage. I just want to keep it 100.
Oh, yeah. Huge start already. And this is kind of the big thing here. So Halite has to really try to maintain some of this overheat gauge left, because it's the best way for him to get some early damage that he can try to rack up right now. But the way that Kusi's pressuring him is going to use up a ton of that. But watch out now.
Oh,
huge combo.
Oh, no! Halite, that was incredible!
Holy crap, that's amazing.
Oh,
that was a tech chase mine into another tech chase into a full offstage conversion.
Okay, I was just going to point out the fact that the rockets actually still move in hit stun, which I think is hysterical. And so that's why you saw that loop around and around, and Halite was just like, you know what, fine, hold edge. I'm going to just throw a rocket above you, behind you, and then back into you so I can get back to stage.
And it's funny that he's guiding that rocket while also having to DI and recover himself, right?
And there's another one too. That's how important the maintenance of that overheat gauge is.
Ooh, gets a good parry. Ooh, Halite actually sniping below the platform there. This is a really tough angle. Okay. Kusi gets back on at 53%. That is a scary percentage. And if he takes the stock.
And that's the thing here is like, look at that overheat gauge already in place. You see Halite try to conserve it because he knows one good string here could actually end the stock even at 50.
That bash did not KO at 120.
Yeah, I was really surprised at that.
Buff Ori, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think we need to just buff Ori, you guys.
Ooh, good catch! Good catch!
Oh, double up air.
Oh, that's some MLG mom get the camera.
Hey, look, that purple, the bash did it in purple. Like, all I'm seeing here is just, you know.
So we know Absa and Raster express their air element, you know, through wind and electricity. Is it for Eliana? Is it air horns then? Because that was nice.
No, you know, it's actually just the slow progress of the Industrial Revolution that will eventually strangle away the farm subsidies that keep Aether alive right now and force them into the Bronze, then the Iron Age, and eventually the Nuclear Age, resetting everything back to the Stone Age once, of course, Mad King Aeolus releases nukes on the rest of the planet. So,
I think that's fascinating.
There's some potential
it's good
real life turnaround. Yeah,
that sounds like
because the thing is, we have the industrialization character and then the capitalism character, right? Mm-hmm. So we really love Rivals of Aether, and then these two characters get added in, and things get a little bit more difficult for everybody. But we're gonna move onward now into the next game here on Blazing Hideout. Is going to be Kusi's counterpick. We're now at a game 5 between these two players. Huge side blast zone, not so much top, but especially considering that that platform and the ability for the Ori drop through platform into up air or neutral air, it's going to give Kusi a lot more potential in terms of whip punishing.
Well, and you saw it already with the way that Halite's using the clouds right below that plat too. He's aware of why Kusi went to this stage. He wants to try to lock in some of that positioning and try to keep Ori from getting those full like running starts.
Beautiful spacing just by Kusi. Yep, just staying a couple yards out of reach for Halite throughout the entire recovery and still in range though to punch for that up strong. Only 56%, and Halite almost got bullied off stage again to get just rinsed and repeated. Got his opening though. What's he got?
Oh man, great dash attack there from Kusi, just getting out of that situation.
Oh, just barely missing with that.
Almost got full court.
Probably gonna have to come back here. Tries to bounce off the wall to give himself a little more space. Gonna use the jump. This is not good.
Manages to get on the ground though.
That use of Rocket Fist, because he saw he had only like a pixel of steam left, and he knew that was no distance for hover, so he got more distance by using the Rocket Fist at the very end of his game.
Yeah, that was really sick. He ended up eating a grenade for it, but
he got on ground, and that's what you need at that stage in recovery.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, it really is just a catch-up game. I don't know if there is situations obviously where Halite can get this stock first, but I feel like in reality he just needs to focus on getting as much damage as possible to try to make the next stock bearable.
Mm-hmm.
Just gets his charge back before
falling off the bottom blast zone. That was by like inches.
He's a
god.
Side getting the assist there, making sure keep Halite in snake form.
Kusi in such a fantastic position to close out this set, secure himself a path to winners finals. Wait for the air dodge. Wow,
that was so early.
Really, that was really clean.
that was like 76 after the hit, I think.
Wow, just dash attacks through.
No!
No! Zero!
No! Not like that!
What?
Oh no!
What?
Oh!
No.
Cake Assault is quietly pumping his fist somewhere.
No. How did this happen?
Oh!
How can this happen to me?
Oh!
Wow.
Mistakes.
That was an insane set, just in general. Because if you had told me going into this tournament that Kusi would be against an Eliana in top 8, I wouldn't even expect it to go to 5 games, just because I know Ori, like that matchup can be so hard for Eliana with how big her hurt box is. But yeah, that set was going the distance as is, and then just that last stock was
just the like, you had like the TSA agent in his ear.
You have been cleared for takeoff. Kusi, you are ready to maintain traction and take off.
And just whoo, straight off the stage.
You hate to see it.
Especially, like, he still had control of the stage. Game 5 last stock.
Yeah, up like 80-90% at 0 and just head first into the blast zone.
Well, Halite's gonna